Trapping plays a very important role in modern-day wildlife management. Professional wildlife biologists monitor fur-bearer populations to maintain a healthy and sustainable harvest of this important, renewable natural resource. Trapping provides recreation and income for licensed trappers across this country. Hoosier Trapper Outdoors is brought to you by Hoosier Trapper Supply. J3 Outdoors, manufacturer of the Hags Bracket and Body Trap Spring Clip. Leatherwood Creek Trapping Scents. Weeby Knives and Fur Handling Tools. HTS Productions. Hoosier Trapper Deer Scents. And Leatherwood Wildlife Art.
All right, welcome to episode 14 of Hoosier Trapper Outdoors Season 6. On this episode, we'll have... this will be the first episode with our New Mexico trip, and New Mexico was kind of a challenge for us. I got of course, a completely different country, completely different geography. Never been there before, obviously. And New Mexico has a law that you can't set a trap within 25 yards of a road. So that presents a big challenge to anybody that wants to seriously coyote trap. With the cat trapping, not quite as big a deal, but with coyote trapping, certainly makes things more difficult. Coyotes take the least resistant path to travel, so that they travel the roads. And anyways, so we had to get used to that, and had to deal with that. So every state has a different set of trapping laws, and we've been to enough states, and they all vary. Certainly, some states are more trapper friendly than other states. Or regulated, more towards, whatever the perspective of the state is, or whatever the influence of the state are. While I'm on that subject, we as trappers are under a lot of scrutiny. In some cases, states want to put heavy regulations on us. Some states want to just there's groups in some states or in this country that want to make trapping illegal. And I think it's very important that all of us support our national trappers organizations, along with Sportsmen's Alliance. So we've got Fur Takers of America, National Trappers Association, and I think Sportsmen's Alliance is very important in maintaining our trapping rights. They're very instrumental in keeping our rights as trappers, and I think we should all support our state and local trappers organizations as well. I want to thank everybody for the views. I want to thank everybody for the subscribing to the show, to our channel. I want to welcome all the new subscribers, and I want to thank everyone for the orders or stopping by our shop. After all, it's kind of what keeps all this going. So I hope you enjoy the show. All right, first,
we made it.
Yeah.
We made it.
We made it after 1,700 miles.
1,700 miles to our first trap location.
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah, we kind of made some detours around the state yesterday, checking things out. Called a buddy. He says, "Come up here. I got suggestions for you." So
yeah, the first few spots, I mean, they were doable. We weren't crazy about them, but we could have made it work. But you put all that time and effort into something, you kind of want to look for something a little bit better. So we spent more time, and thanks to our buddy, he hooked us up.
Right, and I think he's going to hang out with us for a couple days too, so that'll be kind of fun. So anyways, here's our first location. We're kind of getting the truck organized. Long line trapping like this, definitely want to have things as organized as you possibly can. So when you stop, you know where everything's at. Got our bag and pack baskets ready. We both have. I'm using a bag and a pack basket. Some areas we're gonna have to walk in where I want to use the pack basket. And then some areas, you know, like this where we're pretty much right on location, I'll use my bag. Justin's gonna use a pack basket. So anyways, that's what we're doing. Set day 1, New Mexico.
We're just gonna wear ourselves out till dark.
Yep.
Basically, we got a little bit of food in the truck to keep us going, and that's it.
Yep.
Add to it tomorrow. We don't know what's on further down this way, so the whole thing is just kind of going in blind.
Oh
so.
yeah, we are cold rolling at the.
But it looks like it has a lot of potential.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that and nothing wrong with the scenery.
that's right.
Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So
Let's get rolling.
yep.
Found a spot.
Yep. Look at that.
What is it?
I'm not quite sure. It's a footprint on top of a footprint, but
Got a rounded look to it.
yeah, we're definitely gonna. This seems really random to both Justin and I, and they got this 25-yard from the road law here. There's tracks coming right through here, and I can't really put my finger on why they're coming through here, but they are. And there was droppings on the road, so we kind of followed it back, and so we're going to set this location. We're just going to put one in here. I guess that means we don't have a whole lot of faith in it, but there are tracks here. Can't argue with that. There's dropping down the road, so we'll see what happens. So when you go to a new area, it's your basic fundamentals still apply, but the geography, you have to adapt those to the geography that you're not used to. So, and that's the stage that we're at right now. But anyways, we'll stick one in here and see how it plans out, or how it plays out. We've got our GPS, we're marking our locations. So anyways, otherwise it seems pretty random. So we'll see what happens. All right, Justin was just telling me that New Mexico seems to be winning the battle right at the moment. So yep, certainly the mud in New Mexico, and I don't, you know, we got 4-wheel drive now, but it's still way beyond, some of it's way beyond what I want to deal with 4-wheel drive. So we only got, what we said, Jake? Just 11 traps in. We've set 5 locations. So we're just now checking some some places out for tomorrow morning, because we've got to go in and then we got to turn around, and so it's not very efficient. So we always prefer to make big loops and that kind of thing. So the roads are definitely messing us up in that respect. But it's just going to be this kind of trapping, and that we're just going to be less efficient than we normally are. But it's like, oh well, it's just the way it is. So all right, check day 1. We blanked out. Not afraid to admit it. It's just kind of the reality of things. When you only got 11 sets out, statistically, it's definitely not in your favor. That's for sure. So, talk about the brotherhood of trappers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Met up with our friend Adrian. He gave us some suggestions on where to go here. He's a trapper here in New Mexico. I think we first met you in Iowa last year, right?
Kansas.
Or Kansas. I'm sorry.
FTA.
At the FTA National.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah. So I stayed in touch on Facebook, and so he's got his son Adrian with him, and Duke, his trapping dog, with him too.
Hey, Duke.
Evidently, Duke's learned to stay away from traps.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully find where to put them pretty soon.
Yeah, yeah. So beautiful morning. The mud was no issue today because it's frozen. So that was kind of
no
nice.
issue yet.
Yeah.
Started out at what was it, like 15 degrees this morning when we
Yeah.
left the room, and
Yeah.
it's warming up a little bit since then. But
In a couple hours, it will be an issue again.
Mhm.
So, but
Well, hopefully where we're headed ain't as bad as.
up is this right here.
Yeah.
Okay. Easy. But Justin and I both put sets in here. He's got one right over there, and then I put one right in here. This we've been fighting the mud, but a lot of times when we're making these sets, it's nice and sandy and the ground's soft, and man, it sure is nice compared to what we're generally used to. So no complaints in that respect. But see what happens. We had fresh coyote tracks right down there, and they were pretty fresh, and then we got some old coyote tracks here too. So.
see what I told y'all? Don't go nowhere with Charlie. I can't even open the door. He's almost got me killed, got me stranded. It's crazy adventures.
Now we're stuck in the mud.
We're stuck miles from civilization.
Fortunately, Adrian's with us today.
Yeah, Adrian's gonna have to winch us out of here.
All right, end of the day, setting traps. Adrian's our trapping guide for today. We're on our own tomorrow, but big help to us with, I mean, being from Indiana and just to start driving out across the prairie on a 2-track just doesn't quite line up with what we do. So that, you know, that's
Kind of like what I was saying earlier. It's like, as soon as you get out here and start to try and figure out things, at that point, when you feel like you got some sort of grasp on it, it's time to go home. It's time to pull traps at that point.
yeah, right.
The
By the
learning,
time we got it, yeah.
the learning curve is definitely, with Adrian here helping us, taking a lot out of that curve.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah, we sure appreciate it.
Oh, no problem. Sure, glad it could help.
Yeah, yeah. Duke's having a good time today too.
Duke's chasing cows. But how many sets we get out, Charlie?
I think we got 36 sets out
30?
total. So we set 25 today. So,
Okay.
So we
Much
got
better
we're
than
getting a better
yesterday.
line out.
Yeah.
So we got something
Yeah.
more exciting to look at tomorrow. So.
I've been a professional trapper for over 40 years, and in that time, I've skinned literally thousands of animals. I've learned that it doesn't matter how cool a knife looks on your hip. What really matters is sharpness and reliability. And that's why I created the Weeby Wicked Sharp line of replacement blade knives. These are knives that will quickly skin your critters without skinning your wallet. Visit WeebyKnives.com to get the new Monarch folding knife with 3 replacement blades for just $19.95. Weeby Knives, Wicked Sharp.
Are you kidding me? Awesome.
I didn't know what was sitting up there.
I could tell there was something there. Like you said, though, if it was a coyote, it'd been jumping around. It wouldn't be laying flat. So
Yeah, look at him. Just finicky feline, top dog predator bait, bobcat urine. And since we're so wide open in this country, I'm using long distance at every set just to help that wind blow some smell.
Plus, cats love the smell of skunk, anyways. So.
Yeah, it looks like a whole different animal versus what we usually catch out far south Mississippi and Arkansas.
Yeah, it's actually got fur on it.
It's a real animal. There we go.
Oh, he's caught good.
All right, just finished up on this remake here where this cat was caught. My original backing was that grass, and of course the cat tore all that up, so it's pretty bare. Charlie found that old piece of wood there, so we really have some heavy backing going on. Top dog and all that was gone, missing in action down in the hole. Had to clear all that out and put some fresh bait. But looking fresh now. Threw a little bit of beaver castoreum on there, liquid castoreum above the hole, just kind of pinpoint. There's a lot of smell in this area right now. That cat obviously went to the restroom probably a few times while I was here, so hopefully we'll get the one catch his buddy next time.
Yeah.
Awesome. New Mexico. First cat of the trip. Let's add to it.
Yeah, let's add to it. This is a good starting point.
Yeah.
Good baseline.
All right. Check day 2, just the one cat, which was awesome because it's a beautiful cat. Justin connected with it on that levee over there. And I mean, the fur on these things is unbelievable compared to what we're used to catching in the South. One thing about cats is it's got to be tagged before they leave the state. So we're going to make a little slit right up the jaw, up under the skin, and then out the eye. You want, if you're going to sell it for taxidermy purposes, you want to try not to cut that eyelid. I mean, good taxidermist can repair that, but It's always better if they're not cut. And then what we're going to do, take a drinking straw. I'm going to try to hit the hole where I just cut. And there's that. So what we're going to do is we'll skin these when we get home. So when we go get them tagged, they'll be frozen solid, and then I can just pull that out of there, and we can just slip the tag in there. It'll be real simple. If most states want that cat tagged before they leave the state. We want them tagged before they leave the state. So it's important to do that, and that way it'll eliminate issues with getting that tag in there. So, anyways, we've been setting traps. Man, it's turned out to be a beautiful day. As cold as it was this morning, now we're in shirt sleeves. So we'll set traps basically until it's about dark.
Hags Trapping Products by J3 Outdoors, the most versatile and efficient trapping devices on the market.
We got a climber, Charlie.
Yeah, we do.
Hanging in a tree. What do you think?
All right, cool. We'll take it. Got this rock ledge along here. This set was Justin's got one right up in the rocks, right along the ledge down here. This one here is on the outer perimeter for the stuff that wants to hunt this edge down here. Obviously, we picked up this gray fox. Yep. The set was just right here. It's just a basic dirt hole. He obviously tore that up. He's on a drag, but anyways, pretty cool. We'll take it.
Get the remake and show you what it looks like.
Yep. All right, finished up the remake with the gray fox. Like I said, this perimeter right here, just on the edge of the trees before it hits more of the open prairie ground. This is kind of, we got two paths of travel here essentially, here and then up on the rock edge. And like I said, Justin's got one up here. These are targeted towards cats, certainly gray fox. With this much heavy blocking, you're going to catch some coyotes, but it's definitely not a coyote set. The blocking is advantageous for the gray fox as well. Keep them from working in from the top and the sides and all that. The trap is right on the hole, and you can argue about that until the cows come home, but that's how we set it. To me, that's the place that you're going to have the least number of misses. You're not going to have them digging here and messing around and then the trap being back here. So unless you want to put two traps. Anyways, here's the finished set that just took the gray, and hopefully it smells like gray fox here. Hopefully it's more attractive now to the next one coming by. So we'll see how that all works out.
What are you getting out of there?
I can't contain myself. I'm getting the catch pole.
Get the catch pole. Wonder why.
Let's go down and check him out. This may be a challenge to get the catch pole.
Yeah, he's got some room.
We actually saw bobcat tracks right here, and talk about setting on sign. That thing is spotted. Beautiful cat. Anyways, check day 2 on this particular trap. Check day 3 for the trip. But yeah, there was bobcat sign tracks. In fact, they're still right there when I set it.
Yep.
Whether this is the one, I don't know, but clearly it paid off. So beautiful cat. All right, here's our remake. got it pretty blocked in. Top dog bait in the hole. Put a little long distance skunk up here. Finicky feline and some bobcat urine. Got these sticks right here help to guide, and then they also help to keep something from coming in the side and knocking that stick down into the trap. So that's kind of the idea there. But obviously it worked well. We're going to stick this right here too. And like I said, this sad, but there's bobcat tracks right here, you know. In fact, it's still right there. And he's obviously hanging around here when we picked him up. So we don't know for sure if this is the same one, but hopefully it's not. Hopefully there's another one around. So we'll see what happens. But these things here are just, we're used to catching those southern cats, and I mean, you can literally bury your hand in that fur. They're just awesome, beautiful. Justin.
Cat number 2.
Cat number 2, check day 3, gray fox. Can't ask for a whole lot more. Like I said, this is not going to be a high catch trip, I don't think, but man, the animals are quality though.
Yeah.
So
It's awesome too. Your excitement level even goes up too, because you know,
yeah,
playing the odds.
Yeah.
And when you do finally connect, it's like, holy crap.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, when you look at empty traps, someplace where you're supposed to be catching stuff, you know, right on the mark, you know, it's a little bit different. You have a down day or whatever, but this is awesome. And the quality is so good.
Right. Yeah,
So.
this is amazing.
All right. Products I like: glycerin and propylene glycol. Both will act as a good antifreeze for your set. The glycerin is much thicker in consistency, and then the propylene glycol is more liquidy. Both of those you can dilute to 50% with water or urine. If you're using it as an antifreeze at your set, I would go probably water. I personally don't like urine on top of my trap. Lots of trappers do, and that's open for discussion. So either one of those two will work, and then both will work in urine as a antifreeze as well. You can go clear up to 50% of either one of these products in your urine for both freeze up and or very dry conditions. So if you've got a lot of no humidity, very dry air, like what we were doing in New Mexico, then you can increase your glycerin or glycol. Glycerin really would be a better choice in that respect because of the consistency of it, but take that clear up to 50%, and that will keep that urine at the set much longer, and it won't evaporate so quickly. So this time of year, got a lot of problems with freeze up traps, so it's great for that. It's great for your urine additive. Most urines do not come with that stuff already added to it. So something to think about, something to use this time of year. And it's available, you know, from most trapper supplies, including us, obviously. Typically we sell it in a 16 ounce, a 32 ounce, half gallon, or a gallon. All right, question and answer. 2 questions this week that kind of stood out and are questions that, you know, I think are somewhat common. The first one dealt with contaminated wax. I had a trapper email, and he was concerned that hadn't really been catching anything, wasn't getting any visits to his sets. He could tell in the snow that he was seeing tracks, but they just weren't coming to his traps. And so we thought maybe his wax was contaminated. That's kind of a problem of December, January trapping. We've talked about it many times as far as animals walking by. Of course, the snow makes you realize what's going on, and that's, you know, it's probably always been going on. But to address the issue of the contaminated wax, typically if your wax is contaminated with some sort of foreign smell, the animals don't avoid your set, but they're digging at the trap. So that smell basically just adds to the curiosity of that dirt pattern, what's below it, what's giving out that smell. So, you know, to back up, I don't think the lack of interest in the set had anything to do with contaminated wax. Typically the contaminated wax causes a lot more dug up traps, flipped off traps, that kind of thing. So, you know, and certainly you want to try to keep your wax clean. It will pick up you know, residue from logwood dye or whatever you're using to boil your traps in, and get darker over time. But as long as you keep that wax clean, you can reuse it from year to year to year. When we're on a trip and we come back, the traps that actually catch animals or had some issue with the contact of an animal we keep those separate when we pull them. So then because if we're getting ready to leave on another trip or go trap around here within a week or two, I don't want to redo all those traps. So what we'll do is we'll keep those traps separate, and we'll retreat those. We'll reboil them and then re-wax them. We're not going to just re-wax them, because then you got all that animal smell on that trap that goes into your wax, and then you're contaminating your trap. Contaminating your wax, which contaminates your trap. So that's kind of what we do. Very important in order to maintain that odor-free smell of your trap, which is not completely possible, but we want to make it as best we can, do the best case scenario. The other question that kind of stuck out this week was using attractant with snares. Other than the big bait piles, I'm talking big bait piles with deer, dead deer, or whatever in a thicket, you can pre-cut trails, or the animals will make the trails themselves and then set up the trails, and then with snares, and then you can make big gang sets and catch multiple coyotes or foxes at one time. That's generally the scenario when you're used for snaring as far as an attractant. As far as just general snaring, trails, that kind of thing, I think you're better off with a zero attractant. As soon as you throw something in there, then the animal's a little bit more on alarm, kind of, may not be necessarily thinking about the snare, but it does throw a little bit of an issue in that area with that animal. So, 99.9% of the snares set generally are set what they call blind with no attractant. So I have talked to trappers over the years that occasionally will tell me, well, I put a little bit of lure on either side of the snare and then the animal goes through it and I catch them. But I think that generally that's probably not the greatest idea. I think the best idea is just set up the trails, set up the runs under fences, whatever, with no attractant. So I hope that helps clear up a couple things. The idea of the bait or attractant with a snare, that's not completely written in stone, but I think that's generally a good thing to stay away from in terms of attractant with snares. So anyways, I hope that helps.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. We have the new Hoosier Trapper Supply catalogs. Go ahead and visit us online at HoosierTrapperSupply.com and request one there, or you can just phone us here at the shop and we'll be glad to get you. And if you're online, go ahead and register with us and we'll get you a newsletter, and that will have anything from trapping updates that are going on with us here at the shop as far as products, show updates. Every now and then Charlie's blog has a link on there. So, and we're going to be running product specials as well through there. So make sure you get online, sign up for that newsletter, and register with us. Also, I want to bring everyone up to speed with kind of a side project we've been doing. It's called the Fur Shed series, and it runs year-round. We're going to keep it rolling. There's no set date or time when these things come out. Anytime we feel like there's a trick or a tip or something that could help someone out, we'll go ahead and upload that right here on YouTube. So make sure you keep your eyes peeled for that. And basically what that show's about is the fur shed. Anything inside or around that, as far as fur handling, the trap prep, modifications, things that aren't necessarily dealt with in the field when you're trapping, will be right there in the Fur Shed series. So make sure you follow us and keep up with that. And while we're at it, let's go ahead and talk about the social media. Follow us online. We are on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, the list goes on. Find us. We're on there. We'll see you next time.
Join us on February 16th for the next episode of Hoosier Trapper Outdoors.